everybody, and welcome to another week of One More with Danny Coleman. I'm Danny Coleman, and we're coming to you live tonight right here from Monmouth Music in beautiful downtown Red Bank, New Jersey. One More with Danny Coleman is sponsored by Monmouth Music, as well as Antoinette Boulangerie and Mr. Pizza Slice, all right here on Monmouth Street in Red Bank, New Jersey. If there's anything on this program that you may want to see or suggest for a future show, please email me at dcoleman.drice, D-R-I-C-E, dcoleman.drice@gmail.com, or our producer, director, Matt Smith, at driceproductions@gmail.com. Tonight, we have with us, well, I also want to say hello to our friends. I'm getting ahead of myself. Getting ahead of myself already, Nash.
Uh-oh.
I'm telling you. I want to say hello to our friends tuning in on Long Branch Cable, Channel 20. So hello and thank you. I hope you're enjoying the shows that you've been seeing so far. We've been on there for probably about a month now, I guess. Nash, right? Roundabout, something like that. So that's we want to welcome them, and hopefully they welcome us. But tonight, I have two-thirds, two-fourths, half. What's the fraction that we have here?
I don't know. I give it a
1/32.
got a 4/9.
4/9.
4/9.
Wow. Okay.
Getting complicated here.
I have members of the Turnbucklers here in studio. Hey guys, thank you very much. Oh man, give him the beatnik clap already.
All right.
I have Freddie Unreal.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I have Tom Murphy over here. Now, are you part of the band, or are you just here like? Are you like that side guitarist?
I'm the comedic sidekick. That's
the comedic sidekick. There you go. All right.
He's been part of the Turnbuckler family for a few years.
Okay. Nice. So, well, what is your role?
Hanging out, drinking, cracking jokes.
Occasionally play guitar.
Occasionally, maybe play guitar, bass, or whatever, and
Gotta love it.
do
Gotta
a jingle.
love it. Every band needs one of them.
Yeah.
And you are pretty much, you are the leader. Is that what we say
I
about
suppose
the
so. Yeah. God.
That's right.
I'm I'm the
Genuflect.
singer. I'm the guitarist right now, and the I guess main songwriter.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now, you are here tonight because my good friend Bob Macon
Mm-hmm.
has sent you to me.
Mm-hmm.
Bob has done that with a lot of artists over the last several months because One More with Danny Coleman and Carousel Arts US are sponsors of Rock New Brunswick,
Oh, very nice.
which is a festival of, I'm not sure even how many bands that it's up to now.
There's a lot of bands. There's food trucks, vendors. It's gonna be a good time. I think the main part of it's in Boyd Park, and then my band will be doing September 10th the after party at Scarlet Pub.
At the Scarlet Pub.
Yes.
Yeah, there's several bands doing the after party, right?
Yeah.
I think 3 or 4,
Yes.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Experiment 34.
Okay.
I didn't do my homework today.
That's okay. Me either.
I just want to say I'm only about after parties. I don't like showing up to the main party, but the after party, that's where
No,
it's always at.
You're like the
Yeah.
royal
We'll
taste
get that
tester.
in there.
You got to go there and approve the beer
Yeah.
before they. I got you. See, that's rock and roll.
I bet Bob's really mad at me right now. I plugged his son's band though. So.
That's right. You plugged Experiment 34, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear about the Turnbuckler. First of all,
Mr. Payday's playing, right?
Oh,
during
yeah.
the day.
Oh, yeah.
Mr. Payday's playing during the
Oh
day.
yeah, Mr.
Right?
Payday, right? They were just in here.
There's a lot of bands
ago.
playing. I'm
Good
talking
buddy
about
Sluggo.
the show that we're playing though. Somebody research that.
All right, let's talk about the band then.
Okay.
The Turnbucklers.
Yes.
Are we all big wrestling fans? Where do we
you know
come
what?
up with the Turnbucklers?
That was my my original drummer's kind of making. We were thinking of band names, and we were really into the movie like Nacho Libre, and I am an old school wrestling fan, like
Okay.
Attitude Era, semi late '80s era. But yeah, I don't know. He just kind of Googled it. No one had it, and it kind of went with what we were doing. We were trying to like really kind of we were a lot harder and faster back then, I'd say. So we thought it kind of made sense, go off the top rope, hit them hard,
Harder and faster back then. Well, what
Yes.
are you now?
Well, I think originally we were kind of much more in the psychobilly, punkerbilly kind of realm.
Okay.
And nowadays, I don't know what to call it anymore. I've delved into just making up a genre on my own. So I call it outsider rock.
Okay.
Just because I just don't feel like, I mean, we're rockers, we're punkers, we play alternative, we play pop, we do a lot of different things now. So, yeah, and I never know what to tell people. It's the worst when you're just like, what does your band sound like?
Music?
Well, you know, it's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know.
That's
like
right.
Punkabilly. That's like punk rock and like, country a little bit.
Correct.
Yeah, well, now that's the older stuff. My newer stuff, our newest album, Too Bad For Us, it's on Bandcamp and Spotify and all that stuff.
How many albums do you have?
3. One's completely sold out, not digital.
Okay.
We have that one back there. That's also digital, and so physical copies are available. And we have a third one that I don't have too many physical copies of left, so that's just mostly
That's a good
online.
sign.
It is a pretty good sign, but I mean, I'm sure I gave out a good amount of them too. But
It's okay.
yeah.
Somebody's listening.
It's okay.
No, because what good are they if they're sitting in your closet?
No, totally. I'd rather
You know
I'd
what I
rather
mean?
them in people's hands than somebody enjoying them for sure.
Okay, so you're not
100%.
making your money back off of the product, but if they're coming out to the show or they're coming out to buy your merch or whatever, now you're making some cash.
Yeah,
so,
no, I
know,
definitely think I've at least definitely broken even on those anyway. But that's
Okay.
besides the point. Yeah. So right now we have just kind of this album that's I like to think is just way more. It reaches a lot further than anything we've done. There's a lot of different genres that are floating around, and the production value was. I want to say astronomical from where we were. We recorded Westfall Recording Studios in Farmingdale, New York, or Long Island, New York. And those guys do like a lot of like metal bands, and just I don't know. They put a level of polish and care in it that it was just great.
Now, how'd you hook up with them? And what made you go all the way out to Farmingdale?
Well,
Long Island.
I was in a band in Manhattan called Sanguinistas.
Okay.
They're kind of short-lived. We had a decent buzz going though. The band wasn't transgender, but we had a transgender singer, and it was kind of dark. We called it Witchadelic. You can still find like a music video online.
Okay.
We haven't released anything unofficially. The band just kind of blew up in not popularity-wise, just imploded. I guess it's the opposite.
As
but
many do. Yeah.
yeah. But it was a great project, and we recorded with this guy, and I was there for like 2 days, just recording guitar, and I left, and then they sent the final files, and I was just blown away. I couldn't believe that what he did with what we were doing on stage as a live act, and just put this like. I don't know, because the main people were the bassist and the singer, and they wanted stuff to sound like I don't know, like the beginning of like almost like some kind of like Game of Thrones, but not really, not that orchestral, but just some really like
big
and haunting stuff,
Okay.
and that's what we were doing, and he totally captured it. So I figured he could do the same for us.
for you guys. All right, great.
Anthony Lopardo, Westfall
go.
Recording Studios.
Now, you mentioned, you're not sure. You know what? I'm glad, because there's one genre that I still haven't figured out, and I don't know if I ever will. It's called Americana.
Okay.
Are you folk? Are you country? Are you rock? Are you, hobo jump a train?
Yeah.
What are you? Are you?
what would you
What
say?
is Americana? Americana to me is a label that like folk guys give themselves because they don't want to be labeled folk.
I would actually disagree. I think Americana is more like that. It's almost like power, just power rock almost. Just really like I don't know. You could say like Leonard Skinner has kind of like an Americana feel. I wouldn't call them folk though. I think that's like.
See, but that's the first time I've ever heard anybody give that.
That's what I think. That's like it just sounds like America,
hard-
man.
Southern hard
Just
rock
like
band.
yeah, like Southern
Right.
rock, like all that stuff. That to me sounds like Americana. And like as much as folk does too, it's just I guess maybe it's a generational thing for me. It's just like that's what I think of rock. It's like jet planes and eagles and beer and motorcycles.
Well, where'd you grow up?
I grew up I was born in Queens, and then I moved to Jersey when I was like 7 or 8, and I've been here ever since for the most part.
Okay. How about you, Tom?
I was born in the Bronx and then moved into North Jersey. I guess that was 9.5, something like that. Yeah.
So you guys have a New York connection. Still have family up there?
No, actually, most of my family's overseas. It's just me and my immediate family, really.
I have family overseas as well, and in the States, in Ireland and England, and here in the States.
Okay.
So.
What county?
Well, yeah, we moved to Bergen County. So.
Okay. What county in Ireland?
Well, my mom's from County Clare, and my dad's from County Wexford. Both my parents are from Ireland.
Oh, there you go.
I'm from the Shire. Sorry. Nobody?
Okay.
I don't know.
All right.
I always thought so.
Excuse me.
I don't even like The Hobbit. Sorry.
Now we're
People sometimes they don't like what they are.
you get a lot of that, or they don't want to accept what they are, one or the other. Okay, so how does the band form?
The band was me, an ex-guitarist of mine, Andy Defoe, and my original drummer, Ponyboy Kane, and we were just friends. We were just hanging out. Ponyboy and I had a mutual friend. We were just kind of like hanging out with each other coincidentally. And Andy was my roommate at the time, and so we were like, "Hey, man, you got a bunch of stuff?" He's like, "Yeah, let's jam." And at the time, we were really into like horror punk and psychobilly and stuff like that. So we were just kind of like going in that direction. And it just, we decided like, oh, we're really doing something. I started writing a bunch of songs, and Andy wrote a couple too, or a few, I should say. Excuse me. And yeah, we just started jamming and playing and making a bunch of music, and eventually like we should take this out. And Sean was actually in another band called Band of Felons that was kind of in the punk scene in like Central Jersey for a long time.
Okay. Who's your favorite punk band?
My favorite punk band? Oh
Yeah.
man. Well, punk spans so many things. I'll give it up to the Ramones probably just because they are the punk band. But I also love stuff like Wipers. Rance is a good punk band. There's Bouncing Souls. I mean, Bad Religion. There's so many like punk bands, but they also have their own thing. So it's like hard to say, like because as much as they are punk, they're their own thing to me too.
Right.
So
I do a radio show called Rock Home Radio on Sunday nights.
Okay.
And I had Bobby Steele on.
Oh, from the Undead.
And
I've gigged with him a couple
Misfits
times.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
For quite a while. So and he comes in and he looks like this, like really angry dude. But him and his wife, they were the nicest people.
Oh, he never
to
looks
ever
angry
walk
to
the
me,
face
but-
of
yeah,
the planet.
yeah.
Because he came in dressed in and as if he was gonna do a gig.
Yeah.
Black with studs in his hair and
He always dresses like that.
yeah. And I was like, man, and he was such a friendly guy.
Yeah, he's a really good guy.
It was really
guy.
cool. I was like,
Played a few shows with him at like Roxy and Dukes and Clash Bar. Probably like 2 years ago, probably is the last time I played with those guys. And actually, I was vending at a Trent Punk Rock Flea Market with my friend at the Word Distribution.
oh yeah.
And
Now you're down in my area.
yeah, and they were the Undead were vending right behind us. I was like, oh hey, what's up?
Nice.
Cool guys.
Did you ever? No, you guys are too young for that. I think City Gardens wasn't around when you were.
I've been to City Garden shows.
Back in the day.
I've seen some shows there.
Sorry.
No, well, City Gardens was.
I've heard of it though. I've heard of it.
It was a great.
There's a place in Bordentown,
Mm-hmm.
New Jersey, called Randy Now's Man Cave.
Okay.
Randy was the one that did all the booking
For
City Gardens.
Okay.
And if you ever go into the store and just if you ever ask him or get him started, he will tell you just that it's amazing the people that slept on his couch. The Ramones played City Gardens 25 times.
I've seen the Ramones there a couple times.
Right?
Circle Jerks.
That's awesome.
Nirvana came through.
Oh yeah, I
Green
know
Day
everybody.
came
Everybody
through.
and anyone has been to played City
Through-
Gardens.
and the place was a total dump. The roof
best.
leaked.
It's the best.
John Stewart from The Daily Show used to 10 bar there
Okay.
when he was in
Yeah,
college.
Okay.
I mean, it was, and it was in a really bad neighborhood too.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's how it always is. I mean, you got like stuff like the Mill Hill in Trenton. It's like it's always
yeah.
fun shows when it's packed in there, or even the Court Tavern in its heyday. ceiling tiles falling off. Everything smelled like pee for some reason. I swear, everything smelled like pee.
Yeah, that's right. You gave it that club feel.
Yeah.
The Mill Hill. Have you played shows there?
Yeah.
For Dave?
Yeah.
Down in the basement?
Yeah, I was playing GK Presents.
Oh, okay.
Was mostly doing stuff that I played. A lot of punk shows there. Actually, I saw like there's this B horror movie made by one of the members of not the Bees, or maybe it's his brother. It's called Sodomaniac, and they actually filmed a bunch of stuff down there. It was pretty cool to see.
In the Mill Hill basement?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty good B horror movie.
It's so small down there.
Yeah, but like when it's tight in there, especially
yeah.
because like I just feel like people these days, you play a show and like everybody's just like standing 10 feet away, and you feel kind of I don't know, douchey, like just saying like, oh, can you guys come up? We really want to get you into this. And so like when it's tight, it kind of forces people to like really
Come to
feel
the front.
like feel you, like you're there.
I went to see Wednesday night. I had a meet and greet with a band called the Dead Daisies at the House of Independence in Asbury Park,
Nice.
Yep.
which is a great new venue.
Mm-hmm.
You know who the Dead Daisies are, right? Doug Aldrich on guitar,
John Corabi,
and John Corabi
Brian
on
Tichy.
vocals, and Brian Tichy on the drums. Great drum solo, by the way. Being a drummer, I could really appreciate it, and Marco Mendoza on bass, and David Lowy on the other guitar. And I had a meet and greet with those guys, and we're kind of hanging out backstage. Funny guys, right? Great guys. But because we were let out before a lot of people got to come in. We were right up against the stage.
Nice.
And to see a show like right there,
It's always better.
and see the guitar player like look over at the other guy like, all right, where are you going with this?
Yeah.
Stuff that you don't see from 10 rows back.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's really cool. So I get what I'm a musician myself. I get what you're saying.
But even like as a musician, when they're closer, it's just there's something to it.
More energy.
Yeah, and it's easier to communicate. Like there's a certain point where stage lights hit you, and you really can't see past maybe like 8 or 10 feet sometimes. But you want to see the faces. You want to read the crowd, and it gets difficult. So move up, guys.
So I can see you. I did a private party several weeks ago, like that, and the stage lights that we had were so bright I wouldn't be able to see you, Tom.
Yeah.
From where I am right now, I wouldn't be able to see you because they're right in my eyes.
Yeah.
Oh God!
Totally.
So I didn't know what they were doing. They could have been throwing stuff at me for
Yeah.
all I knew. But that's actually I talked to the first drummer of the E Street Band, Vinny Lopez.
Okay, nice.
Mad Dog, right? And that's why I said, what's that like when you play like Giant Stadium and there's 60,000 people out there? He says, I wouldn't know. You can't see past like the first 5 rows.
Yeah.
He said the stage lights are so bright that you don't know what you're doing. You just kind of got to go, you know? I hope to have that problem one day.
Yeah. Well, I haven't had some up close shows. They actually had barricades up for that Living End show. That was kind of surreal. I was like, oh, all right, guys.
Where was that?
The Wonder Bar. We played with
the Wonder Bar.
Yeah, we played with the Living End last year.
Okay.
They're huge. Well, they were huge in my book. Actually, one of my favorite punk bands also, the Living End. In Australia, they're huge. So it was like really an honor to play with those guys, and one of the best shows of my life, really.
Nice. Was that can you say it's one of your favorites?
As far as bands or shows?
Either or.
Both, yes.
Okay.
Definitely. Like, we sold out the show, I had a bunch of friends there, got to see a band that I love since I was 16 years old. He's one of my guitar heroes, Chris Chaney. He's just so good. Yeah, it was a great experience. I got to talk to those guys and made some friends, hung out with friends.
Nice.
That's what it's about, so it was a great time.
It's music. How about you, Tom? You got any
stories?
Or a favorite gig or
favorite gigs? I don't know. I played with lots of different bands. I've been lucky to play actually some shows in like day at some point, like playing in front of like 600, 700 people in a room or something like that. Some old show, like back at the Birch Hill days or something.
Oh,
like
the
that.
old Birch Hill Inn.
And people used to come out.
So I've had some gigs like that, which is cool. It's cool. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any one particular. Nothing stands out as singular favorite show. But then again, that's actually me being consistent because I'm not a list guy. I'm not like a favorites guy. Like, if you ask me my favorite bands, I'm like, I can't give you a top 3. I'll give you a whole
Okay.
Yeah.
splattering of them.
So you're saying you're better than me?
Excuse me?
So you're saying you're better than me? Is that what you're saying here?
If you're saying that.
I give lists and you
I
don't?
think that's what I heard. Hey, you had
No,
the
I
pizza,
just-
right?
Yes, I
That's how I
had the pizza.
am.
Mr. Pizza,
It's
that
just
was
me.
delicious. It
You
was
had
really
the-
good. The crust is
He had
great.
did you have any pizza?
I did not.
Ah, well, there might be. Is there any left, Nash?
Should be some left. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Pizza Slice is a Red Bank institution with a new vibe. Mr. Pizza Slice was operated by Steve for over 45 years, right here on Monmouth Street in Red Bank. The new owners have kept 100% the original pizza, which is called Steve's Original Pie, as well as their signature Italian hot dog and French fries. New additions include pizza with various toppings that can be ordered by the slice, hot and cold sandwiches, and smaller appetizer dishes. And we have they've kept a lot of Steve's feeling there and the classic video game machines as well. And they've added delivery services, longer hours, and Sunday hours. Mr. Pizza Slice, right here on Monmouth Street in Red Bank, New Jersey. So, you like that, Mr. Pizza Slice?
It was good.
Yeah.
I'm not even saying that. I got no stake in this.
I can't wait to indulge in it.
Like, it sucked because I grabbed this plain slice and I was like, oh, yes, I can't wait. And then you opened a box with the grandma slices, and I already touched the plain slices. I can't put this down. It's contaminated with my germs.
Should have had two.
No.
There was a margarita
get too
pie
much.
and a plain pie.
I guess it is
Nash,
margarita.
you're the plain pie guy, right, Nash?
No, I'm the margarita guy.
Oh, you're the margarita guy.
Good.
Margarita's
Weren't you
good. It's just
complaining about the
overpriced
vegetables?
everywhere.
No, that was something else. That
I hear Matt, yes. Tom, what do you think of that?
was like sausage. It was disgusting.
What was it? Sausage with peppers and onions?
Yeah,
right?
it was gross.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm weird.
Sounds delicious to me.
Hawaiian pizza.
Well, we all have our one flaw.
Sounds delicious to me.
So, okay, so what, when you put this band together, right, now you're looking for guys, obviously, that are similar influenced to you.
Yeah.
And you were sitting now, you've said twice tonight, my original drummer.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Obviously, you've not kept the same drummer. So how do you find these guys once you get past that original startup? How do you find the guys that
honestly,
that fit you?
I didn't mean to cut you off. The original drummer, he actually just recently kind of pulled out of the band.
Okay.
So I've been working with this guy, Matt Baker. He was in a pretty big band a little while ago called Chikara. But so yeah, it's been a little weird. It's I'm kind of in a transitional period, but honestly, they're great musicians. So it's been good to still be able to find people that enjoy playing my music and stuff like that. And Tommy's been playing with me for a couple of years, you know.
He pays me in beers.
Yeah.
Keeps me around.
No, another thing. No.
That's right, they pay me in pizza.
Yeah. No, so yeah, and like Tommy fills in whenever Ron couldn't or anything like that, or if just I don't know. Tommy's been a friend of mine. I like having friends that play music, and if they can fill in and aren't doing anything and want to play some music, like you're more than welcome to.
And I'm doing a lot of nothing sometimes. So,
Oh, whatever.
There's something to be said for that.
Like I have another friend, Bobby. He fills in on drums sometimes when Sean couldn't. And it's all good because we're all friends, and it's just all about the music and having fun. Because playing out's so much fun.
How long have
usually.
you guys been together?
This band, it's probably almost 10 years at this point.
Okay. That's a good run.
Yeah, it's a really good run. So,
considering most bands don't stay together for more than a couple years here or there.
No, it's
put
been
out
good.
a couple EPs and then say, oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's tough. If you don't see, the light after a couple of years, it gets tough to really justify a lot of what you're doing half the time, especially if you're just doing original music.
One of the things that I find humorous about musicians is that we all go into this with this attitude of I want to play and I want to do gigs and I want to make money and I want to be and I don't care. Every musician at one point thought, God, I'd love to be rich and famous, or they watched something on MTV when they used to play music,
Yeah.
or they heard something on the radio and thought, or they've been at a show and thought, God, I want to be that guy,
Yeah.
I want to know what that's like.
Yeah.
But then when it actually comes down to putting forth the effort, the effort may be there, but then a lot of us also are the excuses. Oh, well, I can't because I've got this. Or, oh, well, I can't because I've got that. Or, oh, I don't know, guys, she's kind of ticked. Or, I don't know, my husband's not letting me,
Yeah.
So, you go through these phases, and it comes to a point where, how bad do you really want it as individuals that, you want to stick it out as a unit?
Yeah.
To me,
Amen.
I mean, am I right?
Oh, yeah, believe me, I've lived it lifetimes over and over.
Right, and life gets in the way sometimes too. I mean, I know
totally.
when I was married, and then I 4 years into my marriage, I had a child. Well, my wife had the child. I kind of watched.
From the other room smoking a cigar.
That's right. You know
Back in
me.
the 70s when it was cool.
No, but so I have my son is born, and then it was like okay, and for about 10 years, my drums collected dust, and I would play them whenever I got a chance. And then as my son got older and my daughter got older, who came afterwards, and I was like, okay, I can start playing out again.
Yeah. That's about when you're ready, and also, for me, as far as like continuing to do music, and despite whatever things come up in life, I don't know. I fancy myself as an artist, and I have to do it. Otherwise, I feel like I just like wither away sometimes, and especially with the advent of the internet, you can essentially, if you may, almost live forever, because the information's out there forever. So
right.
I'm going to do everything in my power to make sure that, I can leave something behind. I don't know what it is. I don't know why. It's just something I feel compelled to do all the time. And of course there's the stuff, of course I would love to make, money. And not that I never have, but, I think I would be comfortable with just, making enough, I don't need to be a superstar. I just want to make great music, and, ultimately if you're performing and you're somebody who puts yourself out there, of course, you'd like a certain level of acceptance,
Right.
for doing so, but, over
Have
the
you
years,
found it hard to find musicians that were as dedicated as you to
I mean,
their craft or the band?
Gratefully, as of late, not as much, really. I mean, I guess I kind of end up hanging around people that maybe are really into music, and maybe share some tastes that I have or something like that. And
I remember I had a guest on my radio show once, and it was a woman, and she was mortified when I looked at her, and I said, if you seriously want to make it, you have to take advantage of every opportunity handed to you. You can't just sit there and say, well, sorry, I can't because my kids got their play tonight at school.
Yeah.
Now, that sounds horrible. Like, what, you'd put your music before your family? No, that's not what you're doing. But if I got a chance to play Giant Stadium, and, my son is a tree in the background at a school play, guess what?
Yeah.
I'm playing Giant Stadium.
Yeah.
Now, that may sound selfish, and I may sound like a jerk.
No, I don't. I understand where you're coming from.
But the point is, how far are you willing to take? How much sacrifice are you willing to make to get to where you want to be?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's exactly what it is.
I
I
think
totally
that's
believe in
what-
that. And I'm not saying that, what you sacrifice and what value you put on those things is subjective, and, when you say something like that, you're as much as, there are people out there who can make it a selfish thing, but, again,
there's
like,
a lot of them.
if you give the example of, like, your kid's a tree in a play, and you have the chance to play Giant Stadium, well, what are the opportunity costs of not playing Giant Stadium, and how could that benefit you and even your kid? I mean, that's another part of it, too. As much as on the surface, on a very short term, in the moment thing, it could look like something that's selfish, but... and there is the thing where, like, oh, chase your dreams, that doesn't always, it ends up being selfish or narcissistic sometimes if you let it, or it depends on the type of person. I'm rambling.
Okay. No, here's an example. My son is 24 years old.
Uh-huh.
Okay. my firstborn.
Mm-hmm.
Right? My daughter's in her early 20s. She's 21. Father's Day weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my son, who as a child I couldn't get off the couch to get the mail, which the mailbox hung on our front door, ran his first Ironman triathlon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in Syracuse,
Mm-hmm.
New York. I knew about this months ahead of time. I forgot to put it on my calendar in my phone. Got a call for a gig the night before the triathlon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. How am I going to do that and be in Syracuse
Yeah.
by 7 o'clock in the
You
morning?
got to do the math. Yeah.
So I did the gig, which was from 8 to 11. It was a dinner show type thing.
Mhm.
8 to 11. Packed up, got paid, stopped for coffee, and hit the road at 12:40 in the morning and made it to Syracuse, New York by 5 a.m.
There you go. You sacrificed yourself there. You didn't sacrifice either one. You sacrificed your energy and all that stuff.
And then spent all day at a park.
Mm-hmm.
Came back, ate pizza, got in a truck, and drove home.
There you go.
I was up for 36 straight hours. 36. I did not even nod off for 10 minutes. 36
That's your own
straight hours.
triathlon right there.
Right?
Yeah, there you go.
But that's because I love my son.
Mm-hmm.
And I had promised him that I would be there.
Of course.
And multiple times, don't worry about it, Dad. It's a long drive. No, don't worry about it. No, you know what? I promised you.
Yeah, of course.
And I kept that promise.
Yeah. I'm sure he remembers that too, you know.
Does that make me a superhero? No. Does that make me a super dad? No. What that makes me is somebody who's when I commit myself, I commit myself.
Yeah, you're dedicated to your music and your family. There's nothing wrong with that.
And right. And invariably at some point you're going to have to make a choice,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's family or job or, you know. I've had bands come in here and say, well, we had this chance to tour and open up for whatever, but we couldn't because we all had day jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I get it. You got bills to pay.
Yeah.
But then you should just be in a cover band and play every other weekend. You know what I mean?
That's the thing about when you get to that level. It's like, yes, exactly. There's different types of musicians. You have the working musicians, you know, they go out, you play. Well, the guys who just, I go on forever about this stuff because I'm tons of friends who exist in all different levels. Some friends
He
who've
keeps
had
it up till
success.
4 sometimes. It's retarded.
And I am retarded. Yeah, but there's that. Yeah,
Okay.
you know, it's making a decision as to where you actually really going with something, and it's like, okay, well, you don't really have that. That's not the plan. It's not the trajectory. You're not going to you're only taking it. But the music might have been that good, or they had opportunities to go forward with it. But they make a choice. They have to we're not going to go that far. We're happy right here, content.
Well, when
Everyone
I
has
said
different
that,
drives.
and when I said that on my radio show to that woman, she was mortified. Like, I would never put my music in front of my family.
Whatever, Judgy McJudgerson.
Okay,
Get out of
well,
here.
that's fine. That's you.
Yeah,
and
no,
that's
totally.
great. And it's not a matter of putting it first. It's a matter of how committed you are. Now, if I have a family member who's on their deathbed, you know what? I'm
Yeah.
going to be there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be so sorry. I got to open for Ozzy Osbourne. No,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. But there are just some things you have to prioritize.
Yes, of course.
And if you're dating or married to somebody in the arts, especially a working musician, you are a very special kind of person.
Yeah, you got a lot to deal with.
And it takes so. Well, how many are in the band?
Right now there's 4.
4.
It has been 4 for the past year or so.
Okay.
Again, I lost a couple
Who are
members
they?
recently. Right now the lineup is I don't know what's going on anyway, but it's me, my buddy Joshua Y, Tom Murphy, and my friend Matt
Well, if he's
Baker.
paying me in beer, I'll stick around.
Yeah, Matt Baker.
right.
It's not like we get
Beer
paid
and
anyway.
pizza. I want pizza.
And together they are the Turnbucklers.
We
So
are
if
the
you're just
Turnbucklers right now.
just tuning in here on One More with Danny Coleman, I am Danny Coleman. And this is Freddie and Tom from the Turnbucklers, and they're a New Brunswick-based band.
Yeah,
Right?
I'd
Would
say
you
that.
say that your base of operations is New Brunswick or not?
For the most part,
Brunswick
I was
represent.
we are some Brunswick people, but I used to be kind of saying we were from Brunswick, only because most of our members weren't necessarily from New Brunswick anyway.
Okay.
We played a lot in New Brunswick, and I also thought like everyone says they're from New Brunswick, We used to just say we're from Central Jersey because that surrounds a lot of like working class towns too, and and just regular suburban towns where it's not like, oh, we're these punk college kids all the time, you know. So, you know, I mean, even like, I don't know, I tried to keep it real, but yeah, we're mostly a Brunswick band.
Where we practiced, that's where we were based.
Okay, I guess we're a Brunswick band.
You know,
then, yeah.
so if like we practiced in Freehold, then we were a Freehold-based band. If we practiced in Trenton, we were out of Trenton. You know, that type of deal. Because, you know, you do tend to get members from all over the place.
Yeah.
So
I like the Central Jersey thing because that's surrounded like a whole bunch of towns, you know.
I never had a problem with saying Brunswick. I've always been stuck within the gravitational pull for New Brunswick for quite some time.
Me
so
too, but
I have no problem with that whatsoever.
All right, whatever.
Lots of great friends, lots of great bands in New Brunswick.
What was the first bar you guys ever played in
God.
Jersey?
Probably either Todd's Dugout if it's still there, or
What town?
that was South Amboy. It's something else now.
First bar you ever played? No.
Or no. Oh man, there's so many of those early gigs. There was Poor Man's House. No, Poor Man's Pub in Manville. We were there.
Poor Man's Pub. I remember Poor Man's Pub.
I can't remember if we played the Rail in Somerville.
Turnbucklers or
No, just Turnbucklers.
But what first bar you played before?
I'm pretty sure it was Todd's Dugout. Todd's Dugout in South Amboy. We played with Sid Barrett. Not Sid Barrett from Pink Floyd. Sid Barrett, there's a kind of like doom kind of metal band. And the Somerville Town Drunks.
Nice.
Do you know those guys?
No.
Oh, they're really
I like
really
the
good
name,
guys.
Yeah, then the short was STDs, you know. They're a great band. Like every song was about just drinking and just drinking.
Like the Dropkick Murphys.
I know, but it's I don't know. There was something about those guys. They're all really good friends of mine, and I still hang out with a bunch of them. Actually, Bobby the drummer is going to be my roommate, and I visited their original drummer recently in Pennsylvania, Ian. But yeah, I don't know. They're great guys. They some of the best times of my life were those first few shows.
How about you, Tom?
Without dating myself, yeah, I don't care actually. I know actually.
Played CBGBs.
Yeah, well, I played CBGBs. Yeah, I played.
Yeah, you're
CBGB.
a better musician. You're like
'91.
me.
I played CBGBs the first time with Chris Harford.
You would have.
Chris Harford.
Squalor,
Yeah,
side
okay.
band. I played in a lot.
He still plays, man.
I played in lots. I know. I know Chris
plays
plays.
John and Peters all the
I'm
time.
all, and I
New
see him.
Hope.
When I see him,
Chris
I'm like, hey,
Harford
Chris.
and the Band of Changes.
I know.
Oh,
I
really?
played in the Band of Changes, but I played my band, Tommy Took Acid, with Eric Shanus and Eric Barnett and Mike Kinsey. We were this band called Squalor. I don't want to get off track too much, but yeah, that was. And I played in the Changes as well, you know. But
what bar?
The first band I ever played, well, no, it wasn't with Chris. The first bar I ever played was with this band, Hit and Run. It was at Desty's in Edison. It was the first place, which is like,
Whoa.
which was the place that was across the street from Lou Rose, which is that restaurant now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the
The
first
Rose is down
bar
there,
I
too.
think I ever played in the first bar I ever played in New Jersey, because all the other shows I ever played were like either, you know, high schools or freaking, you know, college or something like
You
that.
ready?
But yeah.
You ready for this? You know what the first bar I ever played was? City Gardens.
Oh, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, bringing it back
There you
around.
go.
And you know why?
You
and
just won up Desty's, man. How'd you do that?
I was an 18-year-old kid. Actually, I wasn't even 18. I was 17. And we were asked to play a party for the Tavern Owners Association of like Trenton or Central Jersey or one of those screwy things. And the party was at City Gardens. There was nobody there, you know, except the tavern owners, and of which none of them showed up either. So we played to like 10 people, you know. But yeah, first bar I ever played was City Gardens.
Never got to play City Gardens.
City
That's
Gardens.
Cool.
Awesome.
It was the one and only time I ever played City Gardens.
Still though, say you played.
That's
but
cool.
Still,
That's
it's
cool.
great.
So that's first bar I ever played.
You got to play CBGBs.
I got to play
That's great.
CBGBs.
Yeah,
I
it's
got to play
awesome.
Lemoore. This places, some pretty cool places I've gotten to play.
What's your favorite club in New York?
In New York, there really aren't too many anymore.
I'm partial to like the Bitter End. I like the Bitter End.
Everyone's cool. Actually, I think I played Pyramid Club once. That was kind of fun. That's
Pyramid.
more of
I played the Pyramid a long time ago.
yeah, Pyramid's kind of fun. It's kind of like, it's just, every time I go, it was like gothy industrial stuff. What was that place? Bar Mattress is all right. It's just hard to get a crowd in there, but I like the place. Grand Victory's all right. I think Trash Bar's gone now. St. Vitus is still there. Vitus.
Christ, I haven't heard that name in forever.
Yeah, they were thinking
St.
of
Vitus
closing
is still
down, I
there.
think, last year or something, but something
Trash
happened.
bar's gone? Really?
That's what I heard. It was because I remember because it was right across from the Grand
St.
Victory.
Vitus just had a very large act in there.
People were trying to keep it up
No, they're
because it was
still
like it
going
was
there.
I
maybe
say
going down.
Was it Punky Meadows? Maybe.
They have a lot. They have a lot of shows.
Yeah, definitely.
But you know what, though? You guys are welcome to have pastry. Even while we're on air, we encourage that. There's plates right there. Look, you didn't even get them. Our pastries are brought to us. Our dessert is brought to us by Antoinette Boulangerie. They specialize in creating delicate and sophisticated works of art using only the highest quality ingredients.
Look good.
Located at 32 Monmouth Street, right here in the heart of downtown Red Bank, they are a fully operational bakery with all of the baking done on premises daily. In addition to their handmade variety of croissants and Danish, Antoinette's offers a dizzying array of traditional French pastries, macaroons, cookies, and savory treats. You can find them at AntoinetteBoulangerie.com. Again, if you're just tuning in, I want to welcome you all to One More with Danny Coleman. I'm Danny Coleman. My guests tonight are members of the Turnbucklers. We have Freddie and we have Tom. And what are your websites? How do we find Turnbucklers?
You can find the Turnbucklers on Bandcamp. We're also on iTunes, Spotify, Instagram, Google Play. There's a lot of others like Deezer, YouTube.
Deezer, I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, I got a couple plays off of that. Yeah, we're on basically anything and everything. So,
Okay.
except Amazon, I think they kind of rip you off really on what you're selling.
Think so?
Oh yeah, totally.
Okay. Now, that's the first I've ever heard that, actually, from anybody.
Yeah.
For me, it was Led Zeppelin 4. I was 12.
Okay.
Changed my life.
Okay.
You have an album that changed your life? What was your epiphany? What was your watershed moment where you just said, you know what, I have got to be a musician?
Man, that would have probably. There's a lot because as a kid, I don't know. My parents, they're like immigrants, and they're
He says it like it's a disease.
too.
oh whatever. What, from Ireland?
Really? It doesn't count?
They came from Ireland?
Yes.
Oh, all right. I don't know.
What? It doesn't count?
What did I say? It didn't count
Because we eat potatoes and drink beer.
I love potatoes and beer.
You got a problem with mix?
Sometimes I
Why
put
you
my
say it like you're
potatoes
an
in
Italian
beer.
from
We're gonna have to
Brooklyn?
renegotiate the whole contract now.
County Cork, by the way.
Oh, okay. Nice.
No, so like they didn't really play a lot of happening music, let's say, So I had a lot of stuff that I really loved as a kid. One of my very first tapes that I fell in love with. I still can't remember who sings the song, and there's probably a million different iterations of it. But it's that song, "Oh Girl, Oh Girl, I'll be in trouble if you." I'm not gonna falsetto this whole thing.
Do it.
Is that-
Yeah.
no, who did that? Was that Holland? No.
Left me now.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. You know that song?
No, I know the tune you're talking about.
Yeah.
And for the life
That
of me, I can't
song
remember who did
moved
it.
me a lot when I was probably like, I don't know,
It's
like
an old,
7 or
old
something.
R&B singer.
Yeah. That, and then I think as a teenager, my epiphany moment was probably Rage Against the Machine, Evil Empire, and their self-titled also. It blew me away what Tom Morello was doing on the guitar. And Zach De La Rocha was honestly the only person I felt like listening to rap over rock ever at the time. And, it's very powerful political statements and stuff. And I barely even understood politics at the time, but it felt meaningful. They were really way different. And it really made me like, oh, I need to pick up a guitar and do something different. And I was playing piano at the time too, so,
Oh, so you play piano and guitar.
Yeah. I played bass originally, like this album that's behind you there. I played bass in that one, actually. I had a guitarist.
Let me grab that there.
Yeah, go for it.
Can you zoom in on that, Nash? The Turnbucklers?
That's our second album. The new
Okay.
one's mostly just online. The other one, as I said before, I don't have a lot of physical copies, and I spaced, so.
Is this what happened to Ted after he cracked too many jokes?
Yes. I got
Right.
permission from Seth
Actually,
MacFarlane.
To a minimum.
Yeah, actually, I took that picture with my friend Justin Wong. We took a teddy bear.
And you decapitated it?
Yes, and
Nice.
I took some chicken gizzards and
Oh, chicken gizzards.
yeah.
Hey, you got the blood that way.
Yeah.
You
Well,
actually
no,
used
the blood was food coloring and agave syrup.
Agave.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been making tequila.
Yeah.
You're using it for record.
Yeah.
How about you, Tommy?
How about me?
What was your epiphany?
I don't know if I have any epiphany moment really per se. I mean, I played, you know, I listened to a lot of Irish music growing up as a kid, but I heard rock, and I played trumpet as a kid in school, and I will say this, a couple of moments as a child, 2 moments I regret, like you're with Glee Club and you have to do the tryouts. I remember purposely singing singing the alphabet or whatever, and singing with the do re mi whatever for the tryout on purpose. So I would just hang with the guys and joke around, what I mean? And I don't know, whatever. But and like I played trumpet, and I didn't want to play trumpet in high school because I didn't want to be a band fag. It's kind of funny, but it's truthful. But I don't know, epiphany moment. I picked up playing bass when I was like 16. I don't know. I listened to a lot of hard rock and things like that, and I was like, oh, I could do that.
He doesn't do lists. That's what it is.
It doesn't do lists.
I just remember I was just listening to something. I was like, I could do that.
Have you ever been to Ireland?
Yes, many times, many times.
I was there for 15 days. I'm told. Woo! I kept trying to drink the country dry at Guinness.
Man.
It just kept
I'd love
making
to
more.
go there. I love Irish beer, whiskey.
Oh, yeah.
Love all that stuff.
Well, I was there, and I was there with 13 people, okay? And we started on the West Coast. We started the trip in Doolin, Cliffs of Moher, and Aran Islands and that town. A little pub called McGann's Pub. There was like 12 businesses in Doolin, and 4 of them were pubs. Okay, so O'Connor's Pub, which is all over Ireland, there's one down at the docks to take the ferry over to the Aran Islands, and we went in there for lunch before we went over, and I had to get up and get rid of some Guinness, so to speak, and there was a traditional Irish band. Now the West Coast is all traditional Irish music. The East Coast, Dublin and Temple Bar District and all that stuff. That's more of your popish,
okay,
newer material. So when I went into the bathroom, there was a guitar player. I always forget how to say, and I have one, a bodhrán player, right, drum, a tin whistle, and a fiddle player.
In a small bathroom?
No, they weren't in the bathroom.
Oh, I was like,
they were playing. They were just
the most Irish thing I ever heard in my life.
They were performing in a booth that was probably no bigger than this.
Okay.
Right, 2 there, 2 here.
All right.
Okay. I go in. I go to the bathroom. Okay. Took all of about a minute and a half. Wash my hands. I come out. The music never stopped. I could hear it. There's 4 different players.
Yeah.
And the music never stopped. One got up and left. Somebody sat down, took its place. The other got up and left. Somebody sat down and took their place. The music never stopped. It was the same song. I came out, I thought, am I in a time warp? How long was I in there? But it was just the most amazing musical adventure I've ever been on in 2 weeks. Everywhere. Did you find that when you went to Ireland?
I mean, everybody plays. Like, so many people play. It's great. Like, just like, going to the local. What's great about the pub is that it is the community center, and everyone of all ages go there. Older, people that are in their 90s and 80s and their 50s and 30s and their, late teens hanging out together. It's pretty cool actually.
Yeah, I'd love to check that out, man.
Music,
I was in McGann's, which is a very small pub, and there was a woman just got up, walked over to the fireplace, and she just started to sing a cappella. All of a sudden, this loud, noisy pub, you could hear a pin drop. And they just all listened to her. And if anybody in that room tried to lean over and whisper, they got the stare.
I like
you need to shut up now.
I like that a lot.
It was an amazing place. It was great.
It's like an old school pub tradition, right?
And one of the guys that was there with us, he had a New York Giants hat on, and this kid comes out, and just looks at him and goes, "You," and he starts going off on him, right? And my buddy's like, he's thinking, I'm in Ireland. I'm an American caught in Ireland. What am I going to do here, you know? And the guy looks at him and starts laughing. He says, "I'm a Patriots fan." And he's a Patriots fan. He says, "Yeah, it was actually Danny McGann, his father. He would live 6 months in Ireland, and then he would go up to Boston. His father left Ireland and opened up a McGann's in Boston.
There you go.
He would split half and half, you know. But it was a great musical.
I would love to go to Ireland someday. I've always been wanting to do that for sure. I've only heard good things, and that's another one. So
yeah. Oh no, it was probably the best 2 weeks I've had.
Wow.
It really was. It was very nice. So, talk about your music. How you write it.
How I write it?
Mm-hmm.
Generally, I go into a deep dark depression.
Nice.
I go off of, I get
crack a fifth, sacrifice a goat.
Yeah, No, I get I know a lot of my stuff looks pretty gory and dark, but generally the music's not necessarily as visually off-putting as it usually is. But yeah, I get an idea in my head, or I write a piece of poetry or something, and it'll either stick around or not stick around, and I don't know. I don't really have a set way. It's either I write with words, or the song writes the words, or I just have an idea in my head and it just evolves over time. And I hope that doesn't sound pretentious, but I don't have a system. It's just when it comes, it comes.
There is no system.
Now, what do you do when do you bring it to the rest of the band and say, "Hey"?
Yeah, I usually write the whole song completely for the most part.
All the parts?
Yeah. So I used to like to say I bring the skeleton, you put the meat in the skin, and put some clothes on it or something, because I'm a guitarist mostly. So I write the guitar parts, not necessarily just the leads, because I want, as much as they're my songs, as a band you want to have everybody's flavor in there, somehow. So I used to just bring it to each member and say, like, okay, like, where do you want to go with this, or this is where I see it going, but how do you think this should go? Or somebody will just have an idea and we'll just try it out and we'll go for it. I mean, that's pretty standard stuff, but
how important is it though that you get that feedback?
It's very important, honestly. Feedback is always important. Sometimes it's tough to take, and you don't always agree, but there's always something another person can tell you that you don't see about yourself. It's the easiest thing to like tell somebody what they should do, but it's really hard to tell yourself what to do, even if you know what it is, Right. And so having outside opinion gives you insight into yourself sometimes, so even if you don't want to hear it. So it's very important.
I think that's the toughest thing to do, is to look within yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And say, pick and choose your spots where you want to give up control of something you've created.
Yeah.
I'm not, and it's not necessarily. Well, it's not necessarily that. And if you think about it, though, it's not necessarily that you're giving up control. It's just that you're trying to make a better product.
Yeah.
You know what?
Definitely.
I have a buddy who, excuse me, is a songwriter.
Mm-hmm.
But to him, his songs are like they're his kids.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of, yeah.
And he can make changes and he can say whatever he wants about it.
Mm-hmm.
But don't you dare try to say whatever you want about it,
yeah.
or make changes, because he gets offended.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, as a musician, when you hear something,
yeah.
Do you ever think maybe if you tried doing this here,
mm-hmm.
Or maybe, stud out those last few notes,
Yeah.
And they'll look at you. No. Okay.
It all depends.
Then you know to shut up.
I mean, I've been on both sides. I generally. That's what the good part about having a band too is that, like, somebody come up with an idea, let's try to do that, and it's kind of like it's almost majority rules generally for the most part. But yeah, I've been there where it's just like your idea is an idea and it's pretty good for what it is, but I don't necessarily think it's right for the song, and I don't like always doing that, but sometimes, I don't know, it's just...
Did you ever get torn with that, though? I was asked to be in a cover band
mm-hmm.
within the last couple of years, and they said, like, you know what, we want you to be our drummer. Great. So now, me being who I am, my personality, and when I was asked to be the band, the first few practices, you kind of just sit there and you absorb and you see who does what and who kind of takes the lead and who's the dominant or alpha personality in the band. And, and then at that point when you feel comfortable, I would start to offer suggestions.
Yeah.
And I actually had somebody say to me one time, "You're too new. You shouldn't be saying anything." So I thought, this is a band.
Yeah.
Well, it is. But we've been together longer than you've been around. Mm-hmm. Okay, so if this was the town council and I won the election and the other 4 guys and girls or whatever were reelected,
yeah,
my vote doesn't count as much because I'm the new guy?
Yeah.
No, I was elected. I was asked to do this. If it's a band, there should be 4, 5, 6, however many.
Yeah.
Unless it's told to you from the start.
Of course.
I'm in charge. Everything goes through me. If then that's the case, then you're just an employee. Okay, I could do that. Pay me.
Yeah.
Fine. I'll show up. Give me whatever. If it's not, then if it's a band and it's a true band and you're bringing in music, then everybody should have a little bit of say.
Yeah, totally.
I mean, of course, as the principal songwriter, hey, this is what I envisioned.
Yeah.
And maybe that song doesn't work for the Turnbucklers. Maybe you need to try something different.
Yeah, totally.
But either way, it's that willingness to work.
Yeah. Oh, well, exactly. Like I said, I analogize that to, me saying I put the skeleton. Everyone puts the meat, their muscles, the twists here, the turn there. As long as the meaning of the song to me gets there and the emotional points and the dynamic points of a song that I feel are most important get done, the rest of it is fine as long as you're on time and in key. Like like Tom, he fills on bass. He pretty much writes his own bass lines except for certain things. Certain things just need to be certain things just need to sound a certain way, and then the rest of it's up to you. Go ahead, have fun. So I try to be as diplomatic that way as possible, and it also again, it only improves the song in my opinion. So.
Well, because that's what makes what makes the world go round. Because if everybody, and it was only one way, then
yeah,
I think it kind of matters. It depends on the people you're dealing with, the situation. You can listen to everyone's opinions, and it might click with you or not. If someone, it also depends whether you're going to see it or not. I mean, there's all the variables that come into play. But sometimes, it depends. I think it just varies,
Yeah, situational.
Yeah.
The song and the people involved, because some people might have an opinion, but not all opinions are correct, or work, or and sometimes it might take you time to see it,
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you have coming up? I know you have Rock New Brunswick.
Rock New
You'll be
Brunswick
doing for Mr. Macon.
Yes.
I will see you there. I will be there.
Yeah. Awesome. That'll be great. Yeah, we got that. We have the Rahway Culture Crawl. I think that's September 23rd. And I'm doing a podcast on Thursday for Micromedia. And as far as other than that, I don't think I have anything too crazy lined up.
Now, you're doing a podcast. Are you the guest or do you host one?
I'm the guest.
Okay.
Yeah. And so, it's been weird just because I'm finishing out every obligation that I have had, and so far, but I'm not necessarily sure where the band's gonna go. I'm definitely still trying to keep playing, but I got Tommy. I got my fill-in.
At least it's
Well,
the
just because Tom's in other bands, and
who do you jam?
We haven't really necessarily talked too much about the future.
What other bands are you in?
I mean, I played with tons of bands. I've been with the Stuntcocks out of New Brunswick for the last 10 years. They're friends of mine, and I had my band Felon, and I'm a songwriter too. And I want to. My next plan is I want to put my songbook band together, which is going to be called, going back to the Irish thing, just real quick, is that I want to name it the band Croverhand Cross, which is the area in County Clare, outside of the village of Kildicehurt, where my mom's grandmother's house is from. It's called Croverhand. It's across. My aunt lives there, and my uncle lives across the street. So that's what I'm going to name the band.
Cool.
An homage. So I'm named after my father, so I already have that covered. So that's homage to my mom's side of the family.
Nice.
And hey, I don't mind hanging around this guy. He's all right.
Well, we're going to let you guys perform a little bit. Actually, when I went to Ireland, the people we went with, the 13 of them, they had family in Letterfrack on the other side of Connemara.
Okay.
There,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it was, wow, beautiful country that was.
It's all
The house that they
beautiful
lived
over
in
there.
was like an oil painting. It was like right on the Irish Sea, and the waves are crashing into the front
Awesome.
yard. It's like, whoa, beautiful, beautiful area. We're going to let you set up.
Okay.
And I'm going to move on over here. You guys play a couple tunes for us. Again, if you're just clicking on, tuning in, this is One More with Danny Coleman. My guests tonight are the Turnbucklers. And I'm going to come over here, and I'm going to see my good buddy Tom. And we're going to talk about Mario and Monmouth music. So we'll do that, right? You all right there, Tom? Thank you for your efforts, Mr. Tom. I appreciate that. Established in 1987, Monmouth Music is located in the center of historic Red Bank, New Jersey, which has recently been voted the third best town in the United States by Smithsonian Magazine. Located within walking distance of the famed Count Basie Theater, Red Bank train station, and many of its fine eateries, Monmouth Music continues the tradition of being a destination store for performers and musicians of all levels, both beginner through professional. The new owner, Mario DiBartolo, who we thank very much for allowing us to set up here every Monday, he's a lifelong musician himself. He offers a wide selection of brand name instruments at everyday low prices, both new, used, and with personal, professional, and expert service that only a family-owned and operated store can provide. Freddie, does the neck on your guitar need repairing?
It might.
There you go. How about your banjo?
I think so.
Okay. Do the valves on your saxophone need to be refitted? All you sax players at home. Regardless of what day it is, bring your instrument to Monmouth Music for quality repairs. You'll enjoy prompt service from a team of repairmen who are always available. And I want to thank everybody once again for tuning in here on the Carousel Arts YouTube channel, as well as on Long Branch Cable, Channel 20. Thank you so much for letting us into your living rooms and your laptops this evening. Are you fellas ready?
We are.
Okay, without holding up anything else, I'm going to give you the Turnbucklers.
This one's called Build-A-Bird. You can figure it out. It's off our new album called Too Bad For Us. You can find that online. Slave to a substance, employed to a toy, loyal to the royal, the end of all. Leaders on arenas make a lot of noise. The makers are the takers, the end of all joy. Now laugh it up. Why don't you laugh it up? Had enough. There's a dye in our sky and a potion in our ocean. Words are so thin, yet so often spoken. There's a gun for a guy and a bomb for a boy. It's the end of all, end of all joy. I left it all. Why don't you laugh it up?
to a toy, loyal to royal, the end of our leaders are leaders that make a lot of noise. I swear the makers are the takers, the end of our joy. Why don't you have enough? Why don't you have enough?
Nice.
All right, this one's called Back to the Blood in You. Far from the home into the Atlantic Sea, left my soul legacy, trusting those I lost to see. Back to the blood in you, the blood in your bones. Don't you know you never be alone? That's a promise to hold. I have to let you see your other side. It's not my place, it's not my right. Trusting those I lost to see you. Back to the blood in you, the blood in your bones. Don't you know you never be alone? That's a promise to hold. Every day I see you grow, that dark leaves me alone. It's not so easy in this life, but for a moment it's worth all the strife. Trusting those I lost to see you. Back to the blood in you, the blood in your bones. Don't you know you never be alone? That's a promise to hold. Got one more here.
Yeah, you got the approval of Nash. There you go.
Thank you, Danny. Thanks, crew. This is great. I want to thank, Monmouth Music, Bob Macon for putting this together. Be sure to come out to, Hub City Rocks, playing the after party at Scarlet Pub. Come support. It's a good time. This one's called Misanthrope. It's on our new album called Too Bad for Us. And, yeah.
Yeah. Me? You?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
The words said it all. I still I'm looking up. I never look around, 'cause I don't see the point. Show me where you're heading. You hate this life, I do too. That's why I'll say to you, I don't trust anybody, but I might for you. Not just anybody in this life will do the way you did too. Missing through, I love you. Even if you don't. Though I said it all, I can't stop, I fall. Still I'm looking up. I never look around, 'cause I found that I'm lost. But show me where you're headed. You hate this life, I do too. That's why I'll say, I don't trust anybody, but I might for you. Not just anybody in this life will do a little way you do. I'm missing through, I love you. Even if you don't. She hates the world, but that's my girl. She hates the world, but that's my girl. I got no chance, sweet romance, but that's my girl. I don't trust anybody, but I'm not for you. Not just anybody in this life will do look away. That's okay, I'm missing through. I love you, you, you. I love you, you, you. Thank you guys. See you guys around.
The Turnbucklers here on One More with Danny Coleman. That's right. Give him a hand. Thank you, guys. Thank you for making the trip. Thank you. I'm going to turn this a little bit. Thank you for making the trip. Thank you for doing what you do. And thank you. I want to thank you. Now, if those of you, where am I at, Nash? You? Okay. That one. All right, good. If you hear me on this program, one of the things I rail about being a musician myself is that we don't promote ourselves enough. These guys promoted the heck out of their appearance on this program tonight, and I want to thank you very much for that. And, if more people did that, maybe original music would get the support that it deserves. So, you know what? Promote yourselves, guys. Shameless self-promotion is what it's all about. That's right. Next week we have the Clydes coming in here on One More with Danny Coleman. And until then, stop on by because we'll have one more. Good night.